B-Bad and Brandon.
Boom, boom. We just broke your podcast virginity.
You have.
Well,
We're
first
now.
time.
First time, mate.
Well, that's cute.
First time.
We'll be gentle.
I'm sure you won't be.
I
don't think we will be. I wanted. I like compiled a list of questions of what I should ask and what I shouldn't. And I was like,
Jeez, that's very organised.
no. Well, then I was like, no, I can't ask any of them.
Oh.
I was like, that's probably not age appropriate. Probably not appropriate for the podcast.
Everything's appropriate.
From what I've heard, mate.
After dark.
This After Dark episode. Because you're an avid listener. What's your favorite episode so far?
The one you recently done with, and I can't remember his name. I think it's episode 208. I think.
Gosh,
with
What do you do?
he was in the army. He's an SAS.
Oh, leg blown off.
Leg blown off.
Oh,
yeah.
He's rad.
He was amazing. Did the work with the Cowboys.
Yeah.
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 That's right.
Yeah.
What's his name again, though? Fuck.
I can't remember it.
Paul, yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, hectic and
Crazy.
his flight
And
back
Yeah.
in Qantas in the back seat.
Yeah, that blew my mind.
That was alright.
Like-
Going, Jesus bloody
Yeah,
Christ!
is there,
honestly,
Paul Warren,
is
that's
there
right.
not like a
You got the
like a
episode
medical
right.
aeroplane for that?
Yeah.
kind of
well, you would
experience?
think so. Wouldn't you? Yeah, no, it was sticky in the back of the down near the toilet. And,
Yeah. He's
That's
still
crazy.
there. Poor
Yeah.
dude. He's given everything,
Wow.
including his leg for his job.
Yeah,
They can't even.
fly him out.
Yeah.
Well, they can, but
Yeah.
even a private bloody, you'd
Something.
think
You'd think.
something like that.
That was a hectic. We got a lot of good feedback from that episode,
Can
too.
you imagine, like, to make light of the situation, but just like being your regular economy class and just going for your long haul flight home, and then you're like,
You complaining?
And you
fuck,
complain.
you know, you just
Yeah,
look
yeah,
over and
yeah,
you see
yeah,
him there, and you're
yeah.
like, whoa.
Jesus Christ! Yeah,
Yeah, you
I've
look
got no issues.
Yeah, you're just cramped
my leg
up.
room's real good right now.
Real good. No, but that was a hell of a story, and what he's done since, and
Yeah.
how he's hell, bloody hell! You just imagine what those blokes go through.
It's insane.
It makes our little niggles and pains seem fairly insignificant in the whole scheme of
That's
things.
the
Well, my shoulder's real sore at the moment. But...
Yeah, I got really sore hips.
But you- I was-
But hey,
You know how
I'll
bad
suck
I-
that up.
Yeah.
because like I was on the same flight to Townsville with him the next week or so when I
Oh,
went
yeah.
up, and man, my knees were killing me. And then I saw him get up. I was like, "Don't limp, you've got this.
Yeah,
Just-
don't be a sook.
yeah, don't be a sook now.
Yeah.
Fucking hell."
Yeah, so.
He,
No, mate, but that was good, and all the other ones that I've listened to are all pretty funny and
Oh, funny. I'll take that.
decent. So
we
Some giggles.
strive for funny.
Some giggles.
Did
No,
you
we
end
just-
up listening? I think
proper
you're going to
serious
listen
all
to
the
Lee
time.
Addison's one.
no,
Oh, Big
yeah.
Daddy Addy.
Big Daddy Addy. I
Yeah,
reckon you
right.
love that one.
He was one game short.
He
he's-
backed the Eels.
He backed the Eels all the
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and he claimed it in the pod. We lost the podcast, and he called it early. I can't remember how far. There was heaps of games left to go in the
Yeah.
season when he said Eels were going to win.
Eels are going to be there.
Yep.
He called. He coached
They felt
Tedesco at St
poor.
Mary's.
Yeah, but should they have been?
What?
Eels be there?
Look.
They had an easier path, didn't they?
No, that was the
The
Sharkies, bro.
Sharks had that.
Shouldn't have beat. Shouldn't have won against Cowboys.
Yeah, I reckon. I still think the Cowboys would have got done in the GF though.
I think anybody on their day, if Panthers played like that, I
No
don't
one
think
thinks
any
so.
team
How
would have beaten them. To be honest.
Devastating was Moses Leota.
Well, again, in a normal game, he would have got 10 early on. Like he hit. I can't remember who he hit. I think it was the winger, the big Fijian bloody
Micah Sevo.
Micah Sevo, and it was a bit of a swing. Like, in a normal game, he would have got 10 for that.
I reckon Luai would have got sent for 10.
Well, he got kicking that bloke. Like nobody's seen
Yeah.
that.
He kicked
I
that bloke
blew
for
up-
sure.
I blew up in the game when I saw that. Like he just a bit
Ryan
of a-
Madison came
bit of
out
a kick,
and bloody. I reckon he
oh.
called it well.
Anyway, but look, do you agree with how Panthers have gone on after it? I don't. I don't think it's right the way they've acted. And yeah, they're all a bunch of kids.
They count on like pork chops, I think.
They have.
Yeah, right.
And to say like
a
someone's
bit of
come.
humility in when you win goes a long way. I
Oh,
think.
absolutely.
But I think Ken
Yeah,
just give
no.
me stink eye.
She's staring you down.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah. But I think someone came out and I think it was Sean Lane from the from Parramatta was like, at the end of the day, he said all these other things, and he's like, winners win, and they can do what they want. It's like, well, no, you can't.
No, there's got to be.
What example are you
Should
setting?
be a standard.
100%.
And they talk about people looking down on the Westies and stuff like that. Well, here's the prime position for you guys to actually go, okay, well, let's break the bar a bit here and make a bit of a change and set the example for the other blokes coming through.
Yeah.
Don't act like a dickhead.
No, continue acting like a dickhead,
but
continue
the Labor
about
stinks, So
I just think as well, like you can't bloody like Appy Coruscant's comments about he's going to the West Tigers
again. It just
what the hell
makes you.
It's like surely if you're the West, like, and West Tigers fans are, I believe, full right to blow up. Like,
well and truly.
You just signed a major guy who's just been like, well, I'm never going to get another premiership ring. Like,
is that what he said?
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Just watch Canberra's.
He's just rubbished his whole team.
Yeah. And he's not even there yet.
Fucking hell!
So
you tear that contract up.
Literally, like I was surprised.
Because what you want someone who's there to win and believes in the team to win.
Who's the coach now? Tim Sheens. And Benji Marshall. If I heard that, you're gone.
You're out.
Oh, well, truly.
That's such a poor attitude. Imagine the attitude that person's got at training and everything. If they don't feel like they're bothered to win, they're just there for their paycheck.
That's right.
They just turn up for less than minimum.
Again, that's what he's throwing out there, isn't he? Okay, well, we're not going to win. I may as well just run around the park a bit. But
and in his head, he's 30 next year. This could be his last contract he's going to get in the NRL. So he is probably of that mentality.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, like
at the end, but like that's not an excuse. That doesn't excuse your behaviour. You're still being an absolute wanker.
Yeah, I just think the whole way that Panthers club has gone about it, and I just think it's bullshit, to be quite honest with you. How the NRL actually lets them, carry on. Like, everybody's had a mad Monday, and everybody's got on the piss and run a bit of a muck. But when you're in the limelight, put your head in.
Yeah, I mean they're public figures and paid that way.
I think they, especially after the stance they took, like with Cameron Munster and Brandon Smith last year, and even Tommy Turbo with that incident of him running down, like they're all
insignificant against, compared to what those blokes have said.
100%,
and the way they acted, like. Anyway, they'll get away with it, and they've been allowed to get away with it, so they're going to keep on doing it. They're not going to change.
So Mighty Broncos 2023 though will teach them some
humility.
Let's go.
They surely
bash them.
Yes.
There is much hope for next year's season.
Surely.
I have many hopes every season.
But
there hasn't been a season I haven't had the hope.
It's been a sad few years, but look, you'd think after 19 rounds, where are they sitting? In the top four.
I had lots of hope then.
Oh, mate,
but so many hopes.
And, I was away. Where was I? It was actually Marissa's birthday. So we were out that night for dinner, and they were playing the West.
Yeah,
in Brisbane.
Yeah, that.
And
Sunday.
I've gone. The Sunday was it?
Oh no, that was against. Sorry, the Cowboys was the Sunday, the week before.
Yeah,
and then it was the Friday or Saturday night.
Saturday night it was.
That's right.
And bloody hell! I'm sitting there and looking at the bloody scores as you do, and I've gone, nah, this. I think I said to myself, this is the start of something bad. I think we're in a bit of shit if we can't beat these guys.
That's the game where we lost Carrigan for
the
5 games.
5 games, that's right. And she all went downhill after there. But look, I think as it proves, if they won that, they would have been in the top 8.
Yeah. I think it's exciting times for the future.
I think so, mate.
See the boat is slowly correcting from hitting the iceberg.
Yeah,
it's very slow. It's still fucking grazing it.
Yeah,
and it's a monster of a machine. So you can't just expect it to be being like this and all of a sudden it's fixed and everyone's doing really well.
But that's right, and
it takes time.
I had a really good thing from Willie Mason because he does that potty. But he explains like if you the Broncos had that good run, they were in the top 4 at round 19. But if you compared this season to last year, if you didn't even make the top, if you went in that top 4 position and the Broncos finished 9th, and had that points differential, massive turnaround. I think it was like -253 last year to -13 this year. You would have gone, that's a great season. But it's because they were in that top 4 for that period. The expectation was just so high.
That's right.
And I think with Renault coming to the clubs, Capewell, obviously.
But again, like you look at their back end of it, post Origin, and the young guys, the likes of Cobbo and those blokes having to take a bit of a break because they're burnt out. They'll learn a lot from this season, I think. And I think they've got a couple of other new blokes coming in.
Yeah, I think
they've cut the older blokes.
Yeah.
I think getting rid of Matt Lodge was the best thing they could have done for their forward pack, and then Tyson Gamble moving to Newcastle next year.
Yep.
Will be a really good move and open up the halves. I think also take some pressure off Ezra Mam to play his game because he's not having to constantly fight for that position. Yep. And then Herbie Farnworth.
Well, Herbie's back.
He's back in the World Cup. Yeah, and we didn't have him for what nearly.
But you've got Reece Walsh coming in. He's gonna be huge. He's that that Martin. Tamari Martin.
See, I really
just younger. You can see there's when they like Buddy Walsh is a hell of a lot quicker, but I remember Martin before he'd done his bloody
what a comeback story that was.
He was a hell of a player, and
he was
made
playing
huge
in the 6 for Cowboys.
Right. And he was killing them. And like I think Walsh will add that another dimension and
a bit of flair
and quick.
Yeah, it's good.
Super quick.
Where do you fit Tessie New? Do you put Tessie New in there?
Oh look, I don't think he'll find a spot, to be honest.
Right. Someone will get injured or need a break.
Oh look, you'll know he'll be in the squad. He's in that top 30, but will he be on the ground every week? With that Broncos side, I don't think he will. There's still a lot to go there with Tessie New, eh?
Yeah, I think he's got a lot of. I know he had a rough start to the season, I think, with his father passing, but given I think a good off season, he could be something. And like honestly, he's built low to the ground, a bit stocky. I reckon he could be a good hooker. Good 14. Playing that lock position.
5'8" too.
True. But I reckon he could be like that Jack Whiten, ball playing lock. But again, you got Carrigan at 13, so you ain't really moving him.
But that's the one thing I think that the Broncos do lack. Look, you see a little patch of it in bloody Hass's game now where he's starting to find a bit of an offload and that second phase. I think that's where the Broncos lack from. You look at that Isaiah Yeo and those blokes, they add another dimension through, whether it's
Cam Murray,
standing off the ruck a little bit and allowing Cleary a bit more space. I think that's where the Broncos, and you might be right, bloody New but he could be a good solution. He could bloody play lock.
I also just
Coach Greco stepping up for team selection as of 2023.
Well, look, I think they should run it through us every week. To be quite honest.
Yeah, fair. Look, but you're applying for you applied for the CEO Broncos job back in the day, didn't you?
No,
come on.
No,
you can just give it a little podcast exclusive.
No, never put in. Never put in.
Wanted to.
I think I would have loved it.
Yeah, it'd be a big role, wouldn't it?
Free tickets for the boys.
Yeah, beauty.
There would be a lot of pressure though. Like you got to imagine the amount of pressure that's on Ben Eichen at the moment.
Well,
but he's done well.
He's well. He's
changed the club a lot.
Him and Kevy, I think. Give Kevy the right people. Like he's a hell of a player and a hell of a coach. He's a hell of a man manager. And at the end of the day, that's what you've got to be. You look at the success that Buddy Bennett's had over the time, and like he's got coaches around him that coach. Bennett's job is to
manage
the egos and just to get them to believe in the system. And put the ego aside, and that's what Kevy does. And you got Alfie sitting there as well. Shit, those two, if they can't get a group of boys to fucking bond, nobody can.
True that. Or just whoever's not bonding should be kicked out.
Well, that's right. There's no dickhead policy.
There has to be, but from from inside the club, I've heard that it's a pretty shit culture at the moment. So
I think on the back end of last year it was.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, there's been a fair with Eichen coming in the way he's done it and cleared those blokes out that have been cleared. From all accounts, it's certainly changed. Is there some more work to be done? I think. Everybody
needs a tune up and a clean out every now and then.
Truly.
I think in a healthy manner too.
Yeah.
There's always going to be backlash from decision. And I think that's the one thing. I mean, I know I'm quick to jump on a point, but you got to remember every decision is going to have a repercussion.
Yeah.
And a positive one or a negative one. And you're not going to see the effects for weeks ahead.
That's what I was about to say. The decision might not,
might not affect it
create
straight away.
create the ripple right now. But, and I think that's where the Broncos went wrong back in the day with, Bennett and then Seabold and,
Bennett coming back in that period.
The Broncos were shagged well before then.
Yeah.
It's just they didn't have that, like I reckon they were, past that 2015 grand final, they just had no one coming through to take places of like Ben Hunt, who, yes, didn't have everyone remember the 2015, but
Bet dud. Never to be forgotten.
And then, but they just didn't have anyone to come in. They had Milford, who
dud.
I just
dud.
Yeah,
No,
I was
huge.
like
Huge. Now, honestly, Jesus Christ, don't get me started.
Anyways, I was going to say we're a fair while in and we haven't introduced you, but that's
We're almost there. A
That was my
strong
fault.
rugby league enthusiast.
imagine him and Big Daddy Addy going at it.
Yeah, a little bit chinwaggy. Anyway, normally we'd like to find out early in the piece, but we'll go now. 21 words, who you are, what you do. You can use sounds as well as words if you like.
You should be a pro at this. You've listened to that many episodes.
Well and truly. And, I was at a point to writing it down, but I wasn't going to be that person. So.
You should have. I would love to see some prep. You just take us back to the Polly red face days. I mean, he's still red faced. Shout out, Luke. I hope you listen to this one.
So who counts? Because you can't count for shit.
For those who don't know, I coach Jamie, and he well and truly knows I can't count for shit.
No, you can't.
I'm sure he can. He can say
Oh,
here.
no.
Bro, he loves
look,
an AMRAP. Jamie loves an AMRAP.
Oh,
Don't you?
I
AMRAP
love
life.
it. I love it.
Only way to
Yeah,
live.
especially after he hammers me.
Yes.
Are you ready? 21 words.
21 words or less.
All sense.
Whoa. There's no or less. It's 21 words. After 220 episodes, you can't change the game.
I know. Okay.
Ready?
All right. Yep.
Are you sure?
I think so.
Go.
Jamie Benson, father, husband, company owner, weightlifter, genuine all-round good guy.
That's the sound.
That'll do.
You're actually at 19. You got 2 words left.
Um,
You got 1 word.
bugger.
Oh. That was actually pretty good. I'm glad you quickly remembered to say husband straight after you said father.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I've been I've been given the script, but no.
How many junior burgers are you?
Just the
present?
one.
One junior
Just
burger.
the one. Yeah. So he's 10, going on fucking 30.
Lots of personality.
Our little man has certainly found his feet. There's no doubt about that. So Nudgy is. So he goes to Nudgy. This is his first year in grade 5 out there.
Oh, sick.
Coming from a little school where I think there was barely 130 in the school total.
Damn, be more than that in the grade, wouldn't there?
Yeah, and then made it to a school that's got 1,700 boys running around. You can imagine the egos out there, but mate, they do it well, and Lockie has certainly he's certainly come out of his skin the last bloody 10 months since he started there. It's
That's cool.
Oh mate, it's been beautiful to watch. So
Is it beautiful and like balance of scary as well? Like
not so much scary. I think Woog was a fairly gentle kid, and he still is. He loves animals. Science is his thing. I dare say he'll be a vet.
Yeah, they do animals out there, eh?
Yeah. So they've got cattle club.
Big agricultural school.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So there's
showing cows.
But
He was.
mate, he was.
Oh,
so we dropped him.
Fuck,
We
stop,
dropped him
that's my dream.
at the Ekka at I think 6:15 on the Saturday morning.
Yeah.
the day it opened or something.
Yeah, and off he went
So cool.
with a group of kids like fucking. And we went back there at about 12:30.
Yeah.
No, he was there.
All
bloody
good.
fucking kosher, but yeah, no, Nudgy do it bloody well. I take my hat off. Growing up out west, we didn't have anything like that. But for a kid like Locke that needed to break out of his shell and needed to learn how to do that with other groups of guys and groups of kids, they're in the same. Well, most of them are in the same boat. And, it's been good to see him advance and excel. And but I think so. It's always been a 5-year block for me, and I've always said this to Marissa. 0 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 15. So he's about to progress into the 10 to 15
Next
stage. So
the fun stage,
block 3.
Buckle up.
Yeah, some hormones start coming.
And look, Marissa is an absolutely brilliant mum. Like the shit that she does in the background with helping him study and the homework side of things and just being a hands-on mum. And she runs her own business and she helps out with ours with JML. Mate, it's fucking hell. It's a credit to her. But she's certainly seen a few changes in the young man, even to the point where he's, a couple of weeks ago he said, "Oh, Mum, I just want to keep school and personal life, separate. And
What?
I want to just be able to share some stuff with you sometimes." And like Marie, you could see Marissa go, fucking
just hits in the heart.
So you can see where it's going in the next 5 years, mate. And those two are like out of each other. They are the splitting image of each other.
Oh, wow.
And fuck me, Dad, there'll be some good blues, I can tell you.
Oh, dear. Here we go.
And I'll just sit back and go like
you grab your scotch, you grab your chocolate.
Off I go. I can sit out the back deck.
Just come back when it's finished.
Yeah, literally. Mate.
But, no.
And how long have you owned JML for?
What are we, 18 months, pretty much.
And what... I just remember the time I asked him what JML stood for.
Think about it.
Yeah, I had to. And then he's like, "It's Jamie." I was like, "Oh, yeah." I was like, "What's the M for?" Marissa. I was like, "What's the L for?" He's like, "Lockie." I was like, "Oh, that makes sense."
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. I felt really embarrassed. But mining company.
Mining company. So been in the industry now for, what am I? Fucking older than dirt. But so, yeah, 25 years now, going on 26.
25 years?
Yep. So I grew up, I suppose, to take a step back, I grew up out west in a place called Miles.
Just outside
is Miles from Miles?
Miles is miles away from anywhere. Yeah. So it's about 5 hours west of here. Grandparents had a property at a place called Drillham, which was about 30 odd k's out of Miles. So grew up there.
Cool.
And as you do, and as a kid on the farm, you drive everything, and we had tractors and bloody trucks and everything like that.
Yeah.
So as a 6-7-year-old, you were always on the tractor and driving around, and run around. So. And when Grandma and Granddad got a little bit too pissy on a Sunday at golf, I'd have to fucking drive home.
So. You beauty.
So the transition from there into transport, mining, construction was where I was probably always going to end up. To be quite honest with you, I did try out for the army as an apprentice builder, and was too young. So as I went in at 15, made it through to the last selection, and I was just too young.
Not old.
Not old enough. So
did they not stop you any time prior to that because you're older? Or?
No, mate, no. So I went through the whole selection criteria, done all the testing, and it was, look, I probably fell over in the last part of it where you sit, and as a 15-year-old from West, what I did not have the ability to have 3 or 4 blokes in army attire fucking drilling you for questions.
Yeah.
Probably that's where I fell down, to be quite honest with you. And so no, it's all right. I gave it a go. And
what drew you to that?
So again, just on the farm, mate, building shit. And my stepfather's brother owned a building company, so. It was just made hands-on. We'd build our own sheds and fences and everything out on the farm. So,
did you pursue building after?
No, that was it, mate. Yeah. So, done a bit of woodwork in through school, but I left school in grade 11 and went into a food store as a junior manager there, and done a bit of a bloody
nice.
Done a business course there, and just from there moved to Toowoomba and done a few little other bits and pieces. was on the Toowoomba City Council cleaning shit houses
Oh,
Yeah, right.
what was
for a
that like?
period of time. Yeah, shit, terrible. No, but look, bloody head on it.
Yeah.
She'd foam up.
Yeah.
You just walk, like I just walk in, mate,
Smash it.
fucking boots on, and I can just go.
Nasty.
And just fucking let her rip.
Yeah.
I'd sing out, I'd go, cleaning about to happen, you'd hear blokes bloody getting themselves sorted. And
Yeah, getting the fuck out.
But yeah, mate, just
Ever let it rip with them in there?
Oh yeah. Yeah. A few of them a bit slow on the uptake, mate. And there was a few too many feet under one cubicle one day. So I gave them a bit of a hurry up. But,
Let's get this
mate,
one done.
Oh yeah. But no, mate. So not the strangest thing I've ever seen, but mate, some people are just disgusting. Just
Yeah.
Keep it in the toilet.
That's a
Hey?
Keep it in the toilet.
Well, that's what you usually do.
Yeah.
She was an explosion that day, whatever it was. But so there, and then made from that job, I actually moved into a ranger's position
Oh.
with the Toowoomba City Council. So we used to go around and do all the escarpment parks and
Oh.
light the fires, and
Yep.
go out onto the dams and check people's fishing tickets and.
Yep.
Mate,
Yeah,
that was
right.
crazy.
That'd
Yeah,
be fun.
yeah. So that was a really good time too, because I was playing a bit of football back then, and so training was good. And I didn't overly work hard.
Yeah.
So it was a piece of piss, to be quite honest with you. And then from there into a company called Wagner's.
Mm.
So I started out driving Agi trucks,
Yep.
concrete trucks.
Yep.
And then just progressively worked my way up through, into the batch hut where you allocated all the fleet and
Yep.
made the concrete, and then into sales, and from there into the quarry side of the business
Yep.
and transport side. So, Wagner's were really good. I was with them for 6 or 8 years as a young bloke. So
Yep.
as 20, I think I started with them, and they were really the backbone and have been, from me working my way up through what I've done, I took a lot of learnings out of, John Wagner and Dennis, and those boys were still on the ground back at that stage. They weren't, so they were hands on.
Yeah.
Learned a lot from those guys. And then, from Wagner's, went to bloody concrete company down the Gold Coast called Newcon, another family business. Ran Southport there for a while, and then took a job with Ready Mix as a plant manager. Started out as a plant manager at Murray, the big one underneath the Gateway Bridge, beside the Gateway Bridge. And then went into sales. So from there, and the big mining exposure came in that transition when I went over to WA as a project manager for an offshore with Ready Mix. So we were handling all the product, but an offshore gas project Woodside. So we were handling all the material to going out on that. So and that really exposed Western Australia to me then.
Yeah, right.
Did you go out to the offshore facility?
No, mate. So we were just onshore, but we had to create. So, mate, we had to make a certain rock that met a certain dive angle, so it didn't pierce any of the piping.
Oh yeah,
like the water, the ground, like the bed piping.
Yep.
For the gas. So that was tricky in itself. So you couldn't have a bigger rock than this size rock, and it had to be, it couldn't have sharp edges on it, so it couldn't pierce through the water. And fucking hell, she was a cluster over there for the time being. But done that, and then BHP built supplied a heap of rock for a new terminal berth down at Headland and a few other things, and then Mum got crook with cancer. So I was only barely 30, mid-30s, I suppose. And Mum got diagnosed with cancer, adrenal, it's a kind of adrenal cancer, much like Lil had. A little bit more severe, I think. But when I say that, it's no disrespect to anybody. It was just a bit more where they had it. But Mum was only tiny. She'd be 50 kilos, swinging wet, and she had a bloody tumour. Ended up having a tumour in like a little size bloody footy. So I was over in WA, and Mum and Tony were in Emerald. And I just said to Ready Mix, I said I needed to get back a bit closer to home because it was too far to fucking, if
Yeah,
something bad happened.
Yep.
And I needed to get home, and
Mm.
I wouldn't get home in that day.
Bloody oath.
that's
No,
the way.
unfortunately,
So I took a job down at bloody Riverina with Ready Mix, looking after 8 concrete plants down there.
Yeah.
8.
Yeah.
Jesus,
down
that would have
A
been
lot of concrete.
a lot of concrete.
a lot of people to manage.
Yep. And then started at Abbey Group. We're doing a Hume Highway upgrade through there, and a guy approached me to start up their quarry.
Yeah, right.
So started that, and then got back in as the year progressed. I took another job up in Yeppoon with a company called Earth Commodities as the assistant GM up there, and looked after a heap of quarries and shit there. And then made another job came around, and then I walked into a bloody good job with a company called Crushing and Mining Equipment, and I was the East Coast exec manager, looking after all manganese sales, so manganese crusher spares, and all the servicing on that, and then capital equipment internationally and nationally. So, mate, with that job, I got to fly all over the world, which was great. I had to deal with South Africans with suppliers in screens, and Irish, so a heap of blokes out of Ireland, which was great. I love the Irish.
That'd have been fun.
Yes, I can imagine that would be.
It was good fun. So there, and then bloody a French company and a Taiwanese company. So no, that job was really good. I got some fucking big exposure there, and
Mate.
Yeah, and been around the
bloody
place a bit,
been.
but and then look, 18 months ago, I'm kind of not 18 months ago, probably 2 and a bit years ago, I was having a beer one Thursday afternoon by myself, and I've gone, I'm fucking sick of handling other people's problems and making other people money.
Yep.
I walked in. I can remember it. I walked into home to Marissa and I said, "No, fuck it. I'm going to start. We're going to start our own gig. I'm fucking had a gut full."
Let's go.
And from there, it's
been a ride.
It's been nothing but a positive ride. It's we've recently just teamed up over the last 6 or 8 months. We've just teamed up with an overseas company that have got a lot of tech in processing, material processing. So we're there. We've partnered up with them, and we're their mining contractor. So that's going to take us over into Chile and Guinea, and we've just signed a contract over in Chile, and that's well underway now. So
that's incredible.
And Guinea should be signed today, so it's Thursday over in the States. So we'll sign that, and then mate, we've got another couple of big jobs here in Australia that are substantially fucking massive. So. Yeah, mate. That's
that growth you've experienced in the last 18 months. As you said, it's a lot of positive. But did you get much backlash from the industry? Like, because when we first met, you were in that CEO role, if I'm not mistaken.
CEO role. I had a couple of CEO roles. Yeah, prior to what I before I started up. You're a CEO.
Yes, I am.
No, look, the business that I was running at that stage, I won't go too much into it, but. It wasn't heading the way it should have headed.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I can't say too much, but I mean, I could see the writing on the wall, and I was very open and honest with the owner of what I was going to do. So yeah, I made sure there wasn't any bullshit around that. So yeah, mate, and all this has never had anything to do with the past. It's just been something that's evolved.
Is it hard for a startup mining company to break through in an industry that's so dominated by big companies?
Actually, no, it's not. It's all about the people that you know in this industry, mate. And if you've got a good enough name, they'll give you a go. Look, it takes some knocking on the doors. There's no doubt about that. It's fucking a lot of hard work in the back. A lot of bloody sleepless nights early on, and when you employ people, I don't just employ people for the sake of you're a number. That's not who I am. I've never been that person. When I put somebody on the books, that's it for me. I've made a commitment to them that you're going to have continued work, and as a business, we'll do whatever we need to do to upskill you if that's what you want. so that commitment from me to put people on, and then, with a few ebbs and flows throughout that first 18 months, and, projects start and projects finish when you don't think. And, look, it's certainly, it's hard, but it's not that hard. I think the biggest learning curve for me, mate, was probably not doing it earlier.
Right.
I think I waited the right time to do it. I was 45 when we really started it. Learned a lot of how to do things and how not to.
You had a bloody education.
So, but I mean, there's, and you continue to learn. I don't know everything about business. I never will. I'm a dumb bastard sometimes, and I just like to keep things fucking nice and simple.
I think the thing's cool is like you scraped over it, but you finished high school in year 11.
Yeah.
And didn't take maybe a conventional path to where you're at now, which may be a university kind of style, straight out of school, etc.
That's, I think, the best thing.
Which is super cool.
Like, it's a very humble, from cleaning shit houses to
literally cleaning poos.
To CEO to fucking now owning your own mining company to where you're at now. You're like, that's insane.
Yeah,
you can
when you look at it like that, I suppose. Yeah,
well, I think that's why, like, obviously, I spend probably too much time with you. Could be argued.
No way.
Bro, he's a pest in the gym.
This guy, I couldn't imagine that.
Bro. Well, you know what we need to do? We need to get Corey Allen on here. Just to confirm what that poor bloke.
He needs it, though.
It's growth.
It is. Oh, poor Corey. I lost my point.
Shout out, Cos.
Yeah, shout out, mate. You're doing it great.
You are.
I literally forgot my point.
Exciting to see.
Wouldn't be anything different.
Did you go on to any further education?
Mate, look, I started because a lot of people said, look, if you want to be a CEO, and at that stage, that's where I wanted to be, was a CEO of a business, and then move into a bigger, my end goal back then was to end up running a large, mining supply company like a Komatsu or a Cattle or somewhere like that. And a lot of people that I was, getting advice from would say, you've got to get an MBA. You've got to have that bit of ticket behind you to take the next step. And I started it.
Yep.
I done the first block. And I've just gone, fuck it. No.
It's not for me.
It's not for me.
I mean, from your story, you've always been hands-on. I can't imagine you in a
no. Look, mate, you surround yourself with the right people. Okay, I'm not an accountant. Far fucking from it. I know numbers well, but I'm not an accountant. So I've got a bloody good CFO, and Isaac's been with me for nearly 10 years. We've just put on a new COO for the business. He's got a lot of tech, process tech knowledge, where I'm not strong on that. I'm not interested. That doesn't interest me. I understand it, but I don't want to fucking.
I think that's
like the chemical side of things. I just don't. I'm not interested. I want to move that dirt down to here in the best possible way with the safest fucking, outcome
you're a
for
good
everybody.
leader.
And
you can see that you're a good leader, and you, as any good leader, I believe, you know what you're good at, so you play to your strengths. You exactly go, okay. But like, even in a training perspective, like, you let me take care of all that.
Yeah.
Because there's no way in hell you're thinking of it. But you got Tyler doing nutrition aspect, and you know what to delegate and what to take on yourself.
Yeah. And look, one thing I did learn early on, and even when I was on the farm, was, if I was ever going to run a business and expect people to, take an instruction from me, I had to understand the instruction. So, when in mining or in you change out a cone in a big crusher, and there's not a lot of blokes that sit at my level that would hands-on know how to do it. So I've handled all that kind of shit. So when a bloke walks through the door and he goes, "Oh shit, it's taken me 8 hours to do it, and it should have taken 4, for want of a better word or number," fuck off, mate. You're taking the piss.
Yeah, right.
It's a 4-hour job.
That's right. And look, and that's where you can make or break. A lot of bloody projects and, budgets and, those blowouts. And while 4 hours might not sound like much, but you continue to have 4-hour blowouts every time that you need to do something.
Sure.
Fucking hell, you lose 40 hours really quick.
That adds up.
And if you put
That's
$1
money-
value on
that's
that
money
in
out.
that sort of industry,
That's right.
that's going to be a shit ton of money.
So you've got a plant that should be, making you $2,500 an hour.
So
And
times
she's
that by
down.
40 hours.
Oh, yeah, so that's the little bits and pieces that I pride myself on, I suppose. Where I've come from is I can drive a truck, I can drive and operate pretty much anything that the boys can operate, and I understand it. And when a bloke says, "Oh no, I can't fucking do it," it's taken me too long or whatever, he's probably not the right fit.
Yeah, right. That's a good that's a good experience that also makes you super relatable, and people would more want to follow you as a leader.
I think so, yeah.
They're definitely going to listen when you talk because you know that you've done it.
Yeah, and the boys know that, and and even to the point, like if I'm out on the ground and I've got the chance, I'll get in and help blokes change a cutting edge or get dirty.
Do you miss getting on the tools?
Sometimes, yeah, especially the bigger gear. Just swing around in a digger or something like that. It's good fun.
Yeah, far
Yeah.
out.
Like a kid playing in a sandpit, but on a
yeah.
massive scale.
No, it's good fun. It's good fun.
Driving a big truck or a big thing that puts the dirt in the truck.
That's it. But no, I don't get to play on them anymore.
When you're let's just wind back again a little bit. When you're cleaning shit houses back then, did you ever think that this would be where you end up? Not specifically on this podcast, but
Well, yeah, this podcast.
Well, look, I had it penciled.
Yeah.
This podcast would come up, mate. Look, I knew I wasn't going to be cleaning toilets on the Toowoomba City Council for the rest of my life. There's no fucking way in the world that was ever going to happen. It was a means to an end and another, another learning experience. I always thought I'd end up in a serious role, in a senior role somewhere with a business. Did I think I'd start my own business? Mate, everybody thinks about it, right? It's about having a big enough ball set to go and do it, and having the ability to back that up with some guaranteed work, I suppose.
Yeah.
Mate, and it took, you know my journey since we've met. It took a while for me to commit to that. And
That's what I was going to follow up and say, like, how long have you been thinking about running or owning your own business before you then had that beer and went, fuck, you know what?
mate. I'd reckon 10 years.
Oh, wow.
yeah, wow.
And again, our industry, like the mining industry or it's capital intensive. You've got to have a lot of money, mate, to kick it off.
Yeah, not just a few barbells and a couple of power cables.
But again, it's all relative, right?
Yeah.
It's all relative, and I don't think, even if I was in a position financially to do that, mate, I honestly, I don't think I would have failed. Yeah, because I didn't. While I had that industry experience, I didn't have the next lot of experience that I think you need to.
That upper management senior roles, or just more so
that and a little bit more, I suppose people experience. Yeah, with the right people, being known to the right people.
Yeah.
So
exposure.
Yeah. So, mate, I think we, and look, Marissa has been my rock, fucking hands down. I couldn't have done this without her. No way in the world. Not a fucking hope.
She's supported homes.
Oh, mate, to know that home's good, means a lot to me. This isn't about just Jamie making some money and being okay. This is about a legacy for Locke. This is about a legacy for Marissa. It's about, being comfortable and, we've been through the grind the last fucking 6 years. It's been hard work with a few things that have gone on in the last position. And, it hasn't been all fucking rainbows and lollipops by any means of the imagination.
Nothing goes straight up.
No fucking way, mate. But, I mean, again, she's been staunch in a bloody, her, what's the word I'm looking for? Her belief in me, in where we can go, and I've got nothing but fucking total, love for her. You know that. But I mean, for what the respect I have for that woman, she's one of the hardest fucking workers, and she doesn't shy away from nothing. Not at all.
That's cool.
Yeah. So.
And you said she has her own business as well.
Yeah. So Marissa's business is 10 years old. Wow. So she started when Locke was born.
Yep.
And she's a consultant to financial planners, so she does all their business management and auditing stuff. So she's been in that industry for fucking years and years. So so she kills it.
Yeah,
no, she's great.
That's unreal.
Yeah, and she's fucking methodical.
Is there a bit of crossover?
You need that.
Is there crossover?
I do. Yeah, I do.
Is there crossover into your business, or do you guys?
Yeah, Marissa does some work for us.
Yeah.
She does a lot of work for us. Yep. But as we grow, she'll start to wind off a little bit.
Yep.
She'll still be a part of it. Everything I do, she knows exactly what's going on in the business.
Yeah.
We always run everything by her, and sometimes I listen and sometimes I don't. Honey,
and then sometimes you work out you shouldn't have listened.
I do.
Sometimes you work out you should have listened.
You can see
I don't.
The day this episode comes out, he comes home with flowers and goes, "Love you."
Definitely. So no, it's. I think anybody that and you guys have done it yourselves. I think anybody that starts off a new business needs that support at home, needs that solid foundation. That you don't have to worry about that. All you need to focus on is getting your shit right, getting it humming along, and then the rewards reap off the back end of it.
Yeah. It's a
the thing
team.
That's like, if we just relate this back, I know a lot of our viewers obviously compete in powerlifting, and obviously you do now too as well. You big.
I got my first sanctioned.
Woo! I'm gonna put that one piece on.
You should see it.
You look fucking
It's
good in that.
fucking great.
Yeah, nice.
Mate, it looks great. But, it's something that we say in our industry all the time. It's like, if you sort your life out first, any goal or endeavor that you go out to pursue becomes that much easier because you've got that support, you've got that baseline to come back to. But as you see it all the time, especially in lifting, when people's lives are in a shithole, lifting just goes like this. The performance goes like this. And I think it's the same in any endeavor, and especially, as you just said there, having that support is vital.
So, mate. Yeah. And we try even to the next level with the guys that work away, that are away from home. We try and make sure home's good. Because if the boys are, away and the wives at home are unhappy, well, they're unhappy. And that's when
great.
Well, it doesn't come down to productivity, mate. It comes down to the chances of having a bloody monumental fucking accident. And, I don't touch wood. I've never been in a position where I've had to ring somebody up and say, look, we've lost somebody. There's been a serious injury. I've never been in that position. Look, the next bloody 12 months, 2 years is going to be another escalation for us with the amount of people that we're going to have running around. But touch wood again, I just fucking we try and make sure that not only are our workers okay, but everybody else at home's okay, which transitioned into a pretty happy spot.
Yeah.
Now, you can't keep everybody happy. People go through shit that they don't want to share, and that's just life in itself, right? That's who we are. And I was actually having a talk to bloody Simon Black about this out at Nudgy a few weeks ago. I think the head change starts with our boys and kids. We're all gone. Like everybody can talk about fucking mental health and making that change, and I've certainly found with you guys the ability to be able to talk and express what's going on with us a lot easier. But it's Locke's age. I think that's where the fundamental change will come. Is those kids that are growing up that sees dad have a bit of a cry and be a bit emotional. I grew up with a grandfather, mate. Fuck me, dad. I saw him cry once, and that's at mum's funeral.
It's a very different era.
Yeah.
It's a very, very different era now. And you're like exactly right. I think I think your influence over, and obviously talking specifically about Valhalla's space, has allowed people to feel a bit more comfortable opening up. I think that comes like obviously I've said that precedent through my my own experiences with mental health and all things like that. But you coming in, I believe, has given someone else, and like we joke around, call you the Godfather. It's also true. Don't fuck. If you need something done,
You are the Godfather.
if you need something done, you just fucking go to Jamie. But it's also really, it's really like exciting. Not exciting, that's the wrong word, but it's beautiful to see these younger fellas approach you for advice.
Oh, mate, I take it as
It's gonna be an old
I
fuck.
take it as a bit of a credit too.
Yeah.
You don't seek that kind of stuff by any means of imagination, but the likes of Cos and and Doc, how close I am with Doc and Kane, and mate, again, I think it's great for them to come to me, and I am a bit older, and I've got a few fucking more smarts about me, I suppose,
And a few stories to tell,
I suppose, but I think it comes down to the community side of things, though, too, mate. And I was only talking to a good mate of mine down in Sydney there last week when we caught up, and I hadn't seen Clarkey for fucking 2.5 years, and he's an ex-footballer. He used to play with Balmain back in the day. And he said, "What got you into bloody this powerlifting shit?" And I've just gone, mate. I needed something to fill the void of a team.
Mm-hmm.
While I've got Marissa and Locke, and I play a bit of golf, and I've got my golf mates, and
Play a bit.
They're all bloody brilliant blokes. Like, they're fucking great blokes. The group around me at the moment, it's just I don't think I've ever had a more solid. Whether you want to call it an inner circle or outer circle or whatever you want to call it, but I don't think I've ever had a more solid crew. But to have the team environment around the weightlifting side of things, and I was just reading what you posted there this morning, mate, about while it's an individual sport, you can't do it without the people around you.
No chance.
Like, led by you, you've got Doc, you've got Kane. When I first walked into that fucking gym, mate, I nearly didn't come back. I thought, no way in the world am I fucking gonna even cut the mustard here. And yet Big Kane bloody puts me under his fucking wing, and mate, the rest is history. I wouldn't fucking train anywhere else.
Come here, little fella.
Mate, to a point. Like, he was brilliant, and he's a strong bastard, and you got Langy, and there's just no egos there. While I haven't trained at your gym, mate, but I imagine the same as you.
You've got a similar experience.
It's and that's, I think that's what makes this whole powerlifting scene a lot different than a lot of people think.
Mm. I think
once you work out, it's not just about the weight on the barbell.
No, 100%, mate. Yeah.
It's like, even though you started, when you came to me, how do I put this politely?
I was fucked.
I'm glad you said it. Like, you couldn't,
I couldn't squat.
You couldn't squat. You couldn't deadlift. You couldn't touch your toes.
No. And again,
you had some opportunities.
It was like,
oh Jesus! But again, you think back and you go, of all the advice you ever take over your years about different things, whether it's football or bloody weightlifting or business or whatever, you find your groove at the right spot with the right people, and you look back and you go, they absolutely knew fucking nothing. Like the gym I was training at, and I won't say where it is, in the Valley, Broad Street. Mate, 5 years lifting there was never a fucking deload. It was just punish yourself, mate, to a point.
Everyone knows the place you're talking about now.
Lift it till it breaks.
Or lift it till it breaks, or you break. Yeah. Mate, yeah. So and then you come to Valhalla, and while very daunting at the start, and I've even said this to a few other people, don't worry about what's in front of you. Like, you walk up to one of those guys in there, and they're just a normal person, if not a bigger softie than hard. All these egos at all these other gyms, like, fuck me dead, mate. Like,
but it comes back to the point, like, when you first won, it was fucking empty. That you used to train at 6 a.m.
I did.
Yeah, I don't know
how did we do that.
Johnny still loves a 5:30 start.
Yeah, I did 5:30 this morning.
Yeah.
I do two mornings a week. It's the same crew that do 5:30, 6:30.
You'd love PJ.
You'd love it. It's a group of
PJ.
four lads.
You
They're
would
all
love PJ.
mid. They're all sort of late 40, early 50. All just high performing humans, and they just get around together. Go for an hour of power. On the 60-minute mark, they're in the cars, off to the next thing, gone. Whether it's family work or whatever it is.
I'll have to show you PJ's 240 deadlift one day he pulled at Valhalla.
Yep.
Like you remember that one, that sumo? Yeah,
Very
you
nice.
of course you'd remember, but he wasn't going to pull it.
Really?
You just don't think he'd pull it, and then it's classic PJ.
Just up she goes.
PJ, I miss you.
If you ever want to come around for a 5:30 a.m. sesh, come around and play with the boys, mate.
Mate, it takes me an hour to warm up, brother.
Mate, the warm up's 5:30 to 5:32, mate. 5:34, we've got plates on the barbell.
This is another shout out to Cos.
By 5:45, PJ's got 4 wheels on the barbell on the squats.
But like even in that scenario, you coming in the gym for the first time, you weren't afraid to take a step back and I was pretty forward with it. Like, we got to strip this back. Like, I remember we were doing single leg hip extensions one session as one of our first sessions, and struggling. And then now you're pulling you're technically pulling 245 from the floor.
Ooh, yeah.
Like that progression, you're just not afraid to do the hard work.
No.
Or
Gotta
regress
clean
back.
some toilets.
Yeah.
Again,
is that just from growing up on the farm? Like just being, doing hard shit from an early age?
Oh, I think so, mate. But I and you know me very well. I am easy. Well, no, I trust people until I can't trust person.
Mm-hmm.
It's not you don't win your trust with me. It's I give you the ability to fuck it up. And mate, I met you through Rod. He
Rod
told
Williams,
me to come to you, and
that's right.
Get him on the podcast.
Oh,
We
Jesus,
should,
yeah.
we
Thank
tried
you,
to. But
Tom.
he was doing his
Did you finish that?
He's done. He's full doctor now.
So look,
Dr. Rod.
you came highly recommended, and mate, I was in a position where I just needed something different, and I wasn't getting any better where it was. If anything, it was going downhill. But I mean, you just got to trust. It's a process, right? I still don't understand it. I fucking don't need to. That's what you're here for.
Literally. What do you want to do, Jamie? I don't know. You.
Whatever's on the
But I don't run. Like the boys say, "What are you lifting today? Where are you going to today?" I go, "I don't know."
What's the thing?
That
bloke says.
Whatever he tells me.
He's got his program, but I don't know if he's opened it in years.
Oh, you're one of those guys. Yeah, I know them. You're that fella. Yeah.
But I don't.
I literally update his program every week for my purposes.
Your
so when he
purpose.
asks me, I know what it is.
Oh dear. How important is training within your lifestyle? Like give balance to everything else.
Huge.
Yeah, because what I would imagine is a very busy human. You're running a business, you've got family and everything else, but you're still finding time for training.
Yeah. The one thing I do say to anybody is you've got to have that your space. Whether that's on a golf course or bloody, whatever it is. But mine's is the afternoons and the Saturday mornings with the crew. Dick assing about a little bit and lifting heavy weights and just clearing your head.
Yeah.
And it sets you up. Sets you up for the next week.
Yeah.
And I look, and we all know if you don't train for a couple of weeks, you feel like shit.
Sure.
Especially if you're going on holidays, right?
Yeah.
Go on holidays, have a few beers, eat like the house.
Have a few beers?
Couple of beers a day.
Thirsty.
But I mean, it just you feel like shit. And so training to me, mate, is huge. It's just that mental clarity that you need, even through the week. And it's no secret. I hate squats. I am no good at squats. I'm getting better.
I've seen some nice squats.
Yeah. He's actually
better,
he's got a 180 triples.
There you go.
For a bloke who couldn't bodyweight squat.
There you go.
When we
Couldn't touch his toes.
Bro, it's actually so good.
I like that.
Yeah.
And
That's 3 reds.
I think he scored like 165 and reps for 10.
Oh, living that AMRAP life.
Yeah. Oh, bro. I love it.
Loves the
Just sneak it on him in the last set. Oh, we're going to just keep going until I say stop.
Lovely.
I won't say the C word.
Which one?
Cock. But no, look, I think you've got to like midweek for me, you're starting to taper off. Like you're looking forward to the weekend. Again, it's just that fucking bash in your head that goes right. Give yourself reset. Here we go again, and it's good. It's good to bloody drive yourself, as you know.
Yeah. You must be excited to be doing your first novice, not novice, sorry, sanctioned comp.
I am, mate.
To express this strength. Yeah, and then also, I know for me personally, it's less about what's on the bar and more about the team experience. Like you lift them with, I imagine there'd be a crew there.
Well, Doc and Cos and
Cos,
all in there together.
Kevy B's doing it.
Yeah. Kevy's going.
Yeah. Kevy's
I'll be there.
Johnny. Johnny's competing the day before, so he can wrap Kevy on the not on up the sunny coast.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so it's like I compete on Saturday up the sunny coast, and Kevy can look after me, and then I'll be there on Sunday, so I can look after Kevy.
Fuck yeah.
So we wild.
But no, it should be a good crew. Like, bloody super bummed Big Thorn can't bloody do it.
Is he out?
Yeah, he's had to pull out.
Which is a bummer. Like, I was fucking pumped to bloody compete with him. But, there's bloody Doc and Cos.
A whole bunch of others. Like,
all of them.
I honestly, this is going to sound so bad, but I can't remember who we actually have. I know there's so many.
I think there's 6 of us in there.
6 of the crew in the afternoon. I know Marshall's doing it.
Marshall's
doing it.
Right.
Timmy's doing it the novice the day before.
Yes. Yep.
He's gonna go big.
Oh, he's gonna be huge.
Fuck me. Like I reckon he'll squat at least 250 in sleeves. And I reckon he'll pull 270.
Go close.
Fucking no. Like I reckon he's on.
Yeah. But no, it should be a cracking day.
Now you got me worried. Who else do you have?
You gonna go face or back slap from Brendo?
No, I don't.
He gets a little bum slap.
I don't get hyped up like that.
Oh, that's part of the fun.
Yeah, I never have. Like, and I think that's from footy. It's just, I don't get hyped up from screaming. And I think if I'd done that, I'd be fucking cactus by the time I got on to whatever I needed to do. And,
it does work for a very small percentage. 2 out of 3 people in the room.
2 out of 3.
Hey, you headbutt a wall, bro.
Yeah,
it's us. Yeah, I'm saying it's you and me.
Oh, yeah.
Minority. Not me. Nah, so pretty calm when I bloody if I can keep nice and fucking still and
centered, just chill.
Yeah.
Have you ever like delved into like any sort of breath work or meditation or anything?
I remember I started at Wim Hof.
Yeah.
Did you Wim on? Nice.
Enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Just
did you get cold? Did you get in the tub?
No.
Didn't get icy?
No. I would love to see you go to a ice.
We'll go get icy one day. Go to recovery science. Love that cold tub.
I'll do it.
I'll put in with Johnny though.
Yeah, I'll put in a word for us. We'll make sure we go first or last.
Yeah, right.
Because then they'll turn the tub down for us.
Oh, beautiful.
Get it chilly.
You say this now, yeah. It's not fun.
No.
Going with Johnny in the cold tub's not fun.
No fun.
It's fucking great.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
love it.
I got into I know I've been in Wim Hof, but I've just got to get consistent with it again.
Yeah, I found that was the hardest thing for me too. It was because I'd get up first thing, like wake up and then go and lie in Marissa's office and do it for a couple of minutes. And it was good, but I'm finding it harder to get out of bed.
But also, because I mean,
summer's coming. The sun's coming up a bit earlier now.
But also from our conversations, like you're sometimes taking a fucking phone call from the US at like
the other day was bloody 4:00 or something. So
starting to run out of minutes in the day.
Yeah, how are you like functioning on a work call at 4 a.m. Just being like, "Fuck, what'd you say?" That says it all.
Just how it works. Just works.
Yeah. You switch on fairly quick.
You got to with those things. Yeah. Did you get much benefit from the Wim Hof?
Mate, look, I think if I'd done it a little bit more, I probably would have. What I've learned, I still do. Like just to be able to, take a few breaths and calm yourself down and recenter a little bit. That's been good. Would I learned anything more through it? I don't know. Might have, might not have. I don't know.
It's just like people, and I think the point or the connection was, it's such an unconventional pathway you've gone to where you are. Like a lot of the big CEOs that I follow or have interacted with in the past all talk about this. You know, you got to have a university, or you got to have that ticket behind you, as you said before, and they're all into this like wacky kind of breath and meditation. All have that aspect, and then you're just like straight line from here to there. Let's go with all these steps along the way.
Yeah. And again, it works for people. It works for some people. It works for other people. It doesn't. But I don't know. I don't know why it's worked out like that, mate. You know,
I think because like you've surrounded yourself with everyone at the right time. You trusted the process, and there was another point I was going to make, and I fucking forgot it as I made the first two.
He started Peloton.
He did start, yeah, of course, yeah. Well, to be fair, you met me and the business took off. So
well, look, that's maybe
you can't deny it. Can't deny it.
Oh, look, I think it's about learning to get knocked down and fucking get back up.
I'm gonna put that song over that as you said it.
What's that?
You know the song? I get knocked down.
Yeah, I was thinking something more out of Rocky, but yeah, mate. I just
you just always put yourself in the right position.
I'm like a fucking cockroach. I'm gonna die real fucking easy. I'm gonna hang in there for the last breath.
Die real easy.
No, I mean with stuff that I've done, I haven't had it easy. It's been a bloody hard yard, and a lot of people probably would have given up. But no, fuck that. I don't do that. I'll never do that.
You're built like a rock.
I don't know about that.
Knows a lot about rocks.
He does know a lot about rocks.
Know a lot about making big rocks into small rocks.
I know. That's how you opened That's how you opened the speech at Epic Night. Do you remember it?
I do,
because you were pretty.
I was happy.
Yeah. You were happy.
Good day. Good night.
Next one is going to be bigger and better.
New location.
New location. Yeah.
Smoke garage. Very excited.
It looks like a cool place.
Yeah, they got like actual motorbikes in there.
Yeah,
and they actually work. So it's how they kind of usher people in. So people like, as long as it's completely free venue, everyone meets in the bar down below for like the first half hour, and then they turn the bike on to get everyone quiet and usher them upstairs.
True.
Sick. Yeah, it's pretty sick. So you're very excited for that next awards night.
Good.
You're going to be there's a possible hint of a DJ.
Oh.
True.
Dance floor, and I would love to see Kane on that dance floor.
That boy has some moves.
I thought you'd say you'd love to see Kane as a DJ.
No, definitely not. I want to see Kane dancing.
I could DJ.
Yes.
Bit of Cold Chisel.
Yes.
Oh.
Hell yes. Some real music.
Real music.
Oh gosh, this is a fun night.
I've actually got my first rave party. What is it? Ministry of Sound. I've never been to like that type of concert. So Marissa and I and her and Dee and Mick, our friends. We're going to Ministry of Sound.
Where at?
In November.
Where?
In Brisbane.
Is it one of the clubs?
I think it's over at South Bank there somewhere, but that's going to be interesting.
I want to see.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go.
It's going to be real interesting.
That'll be fun.
I need video footage of this.
Oh, no doubt you get it.
This is amazing.
Marissa will
Capture
take
the moment.
sneaky.
The boys get around this.
Videos. Yeah, so
Far.
that'll be
fun.
Fuck.
Very different to Cold Chisel.
yeah.
Fucking hell.
Hopefully you know all the words to the songs.
This is I just like have this vision of you in the back, just be like, oh yeah.
Now you can see that.
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting.
Should be good.
I'm excited for you.
Thanks, brother.
No worries.
Yeah.
Now, before we wrap it up, as you know, we have 10 questions for you.
Big 10.
But I don't know if you've heard these new ones.
Perfect.
I don't know.
Perfect. Righto.
There's a really like deep one in here.
Yeah, that's a good one.
They used to be like real fast.
Yeah.
Now they just like make you think. Anyways, Johnny.
You are Neo in the Matrix. You can have the red pill and find out the truth, or the blue pill and continue not knowing. Which one do you want?
Red.
Favorite lunch item?
Steak at Brecky Creek.
Oh yeah. With
we knew that was coming.
4x off the wood.
Yeah.
Mate, don't start him. Don't start him.
Favorite movie setting you would like to live in?
Favorite movie setting that I'd like to live in? Shit. reckon back in the old days in the West,
Yeah,
I'd be a
right.
good cowboy, I'd reckon.
Fucking, what are they ringers?
RMs.
Best advice you've ever been given?
Best advice.
Oh god, he's got to go back to the Rolodex of 48 years.
I do. That's 46, asshole. But is probably not to get hung up on a certain outcome. Always look ahead, and not too much behind.
Like that. What question would you like to ask your pet and it answer?
Do you like the food I give you?
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
Hey, fuck.
Imagine
It's
just
like shit.
no,
shit.
that's all I got.
Did you
Can you mix it up?
You see that reel, I think, in Facebook? The kid gets off the fucking school bus in the US and his mum's like, "How was your day?" And he's like, "It was good. Just some feedback. That sandwich was shit." That's what I imagine.
Haven't seen it.
Oh, it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Would you rather a cake or a pie?
Cake.
Board game or card game that you dominate at? What do you got some skills in?
Monopoly.
Oh,
I've never
yeah.
been beaten. And
And
checkers.
checkers. Nice.
Oh god.
Next tattoo, what's it going to be?
I've got to finish off my dragon on my
Yes.
chest over my back.
Sick. That'd be cool. Favorite pizza?
Meat lovers.
Barbecue or tomato sauce?
Barbecue.
Well played. You've got 1 week to live. What are you doing?
That's the deep one.
Yeah, we go from
Well,
pizza into death.
Yeah.
Gotta eat that pizza.
taking Marissa and Locke on a holiday never to be seen. Just something fucking out there. Yeah, no
Love it.
expenses.
That's beautiful.
Love it.
I mean,
You didn't get invited.
Yeah, I was
in
like-
that trip, by the way, by the sounds of it, mate.
I mean, I'm the catalyst for his business to go up, and I don't get the invite, so
No.
it's okay. But, mate, thank you for taking the time out of your day.
No, thank you guys.
I think
I
it's-
didn't know what value I'd add to it, to be honest. But
Exceptional
good.
value.
I think there's a lot of value there.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm biased, but
It's the best episode we've done today.
Thank you. Appreciate it. How many more you got today?
this is it.
Arsehole.
Mate, if people want to know more about you, and I'm gonna say, I was gonna say where you give yourself a shout out, but you fucking so old, you don't know how to use Instagram. So.
Social media.
Hashtag got no idea, but mate, it's JML miningsolutions.com.au. That's everything there. It's contact numbers. You know what we
You can
do.
just get in touch with me if you want to get in touch
that's
with me.
right. People know. But,
It's like when we had to do Pete basketballs. Just write a letter by carrier pigeon, and we'll get it to him.
put the can up to your ear.
Oh, fuck you, old bastard. Mate, thank you. This will be out soon.
Thanks.
Oh.
Thanks, bro.